A plank there.
Day 104.
Don't use them there, right?
Big man on site. Other big man on site.
Okay, in here, come on. Good. Okay, they want
Have a look at what we're doing on his site here. Look. Let's have a quick look what's going on. So it was a late one last night, so we did see some of the stuff go. So showed you that we were actually now acroing up and boarding across part of it. Today obviously is finishing off the element of the pool here, boxing that in, get that mould up, box around here, get the sheeting right across this side, get the rebar done on that beam. All the smocks have been taken out down here, as we said, because they're now going to do the floor after. It's quite a nice space. Should be a nice space when this is finished. I'm going to actually put, let me show you on the outside. So we're going to be blocking this all up because at the moment we're not going to be using it. Morning. But that's where the doorway will be, and that's where the window will be, and we'll probably put a vent for another window on the other side as well. But initially that will all be boarded up, blocked up, and later on that will be done. So at the moment that's not something we're going to be utilising for now. It's just, as we said earlier, the when. What we've got to try and do today, as I said, we were trying to get down here plastered with a view to getting this finished off so that we can start doing the drainage. So the drainage has got to be dug up all the way down here. So we have a grease trap that's going to be coming through here, and a master waste that's going to come from above. That will come all the way down here into a box. It will shoot up that way. The waste will come out of here and join it. The main waste about here for the main house will come and join it as well. And this has all got to fall that way. It's then got to fall that way. When I say fall, it's got to go downhill. And then just over, we can see the guy in the background behind the mixer. It's going to join. Then it's going to come back down. And behind this mound, there's going to be a septic tank and a suck well. It's obviously got to go down, 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 all the way to that septic tank to ensure that our lovely excrement and waste makes it. If it doesn't get the right fall, then it doesn't. And then you spend a lot of time and a lot of money getting people out trying to pump through and dig through and sort out issues. So down here, as you can see, they've plastered all the way down here as well. So we need to get all of this out today. We need to get some of the rocks and rubble and all that crap out. And at some stage, this needs to be leveled off as well. And then we need to bring mud from the back of the house down here as well. Because about here, probably about here, we've got to go up by about 3 foot. So I would say that we're going to land up being around about there, all the way around here. So that will carry on all the way down, so it's road level. So if you remember rightly, when we come down here to the front of the house, put this cup down. So the front of the house, as you can see, that block, the different colour and block, is going to be level down here. So if you took that block there level all the way down here, you're talking about here. So as you can see, we're probably nearly 4 foot. All right, mate, you're going to be about 4 foot. So we're going to have mud. We're going to have to take mud all the way down there, 4 foot. A lot of mud. And obviously you can't do that until you finish the wall and get the wall waterproof. So you've got to get that sorted out before you can get the mud down. And we can't put the mud down until the waste has been sorted. So once the waste is sorted, we can actually get this out, get that spread down, which also means that we relieve the space here and we can do the dig out for the septic tank as well, which is going to get ordered hopefully today. So I don't think he's actually done that yesterday. He did speak to them, but I'm not too sure he got the actual measurements over to them. So we need to get that ordered, as well as we've got 2 tanks being ordered to go into the water tank. So rather than putting one big tank in there and get it manufactured and being charged a fortune, we're just going to put 2 1,000-gallon fresh water tanks in there and connect them together. So that is where we are so far on that. This morning the guys have been here reasonably early on the rebar front because they didn't get around to rebarring the roof as they should have. As a result of that, the pool man that was meant to be here at 5 o'clock this morning was cancelled because he couldn't weld. There was nothing to weld. So let's get up and have a quick look where they are. Doing all this one-handed because I stupidly brought a coffee with me. Okay, right, let's get over there. So you're starting to see the magnitude of what we're doing. When you sort of look at that there, that's all going to be bordered across there. So that is going to be patio. From this line here, all the way across is patio, all the way to the swimming pool. And that bit down there is the patio in front of the house. So main house, main swimming pool, patio area, patio area. So the bit that the guys didn't get around to rebarring yesterday, which has caused us a little bit of a hold up, is the bit over there where Jeff and the jacket is standing. We need that rebarred ASAP because the earths have got to go up, and the earth connects here to the rebar, here to the rebar, here to the rebar, and here to the rebar. So when the guy comes out to test it, he's testing the weld marks now on making sure that the swimming pool is now earthed to this grid, to this grid, and to this grid. And obviously that will be covered in concrete. So that's got to be tested. Sorry, that was Colin. Sorry, Colin, I'll cut you off. So we need to get that rebar done so the welding can be done so that when the guy turns up today, he can test. So we're up against it a little bit. They should have been here at 5 o'clock this morning getting that done. So they need to get their arse in gear, big time on that. And then obviously we need to get this here finished off. So that's where we are so far. Fingers crossed we'll get the rest of this boxing done today. Get that welding done and the rebar done. Because we're meant to be pouring tomorrow. Whether that's going to happen or not is a different matter. Fingers crossed we bloody do, that's for sure, because we've had our steel out in the salt air for far too long. So fingers crossed. As you can see, the bars are going up already. So they need to focus on that. It shouldn't be that long. They should have that done in a couple of hours, and then the pool man's meant to be coming back out to weld, and hopefully that'll be before the man comes up to test. Fingers crossed. So lots to do. Process and plan in place. Follow the order. Should be able to get it done as we should be able to get it done. 9:20. Still a lot more going on today, thank God. Show what's going on here. So we're actually plastering the outside of the walls now. Not an essential thing to do at this present time, but if we're going to want to dig all this out here and do all the actual drainage and want to try and get some mud spread, then better to get them done before rather than later. But the main concentration at the moment is upstairs for the carpenters, he says, I can't see, and the rebar around the pool, because coming 11 o'clock that is going to land up being tested. So have a quick look, see whether they're getting on with that, which hopefully they are. Still haven't laid any steel yet. Wow. I thought they'd been done with that by now. Damn. Okay, Phil's still not started on the boxing yet either. Okay, so we need to have a chat with them about what's going on, because there seems to be a lot of chat and not a lot of do. So we have the pool man coming at 11 o'clock to weld, and at any time now the inspector could turn up to inspect that earth as well. So the rebar boys should have had that rebar done by now and installed, and they haven't even laid anything as yet. So I need to find out what the hell's going on there. Phil has managed to get 2 bits of 4x2 together and stretched across in an hour, so I need to have a word with him about making sure he gets a bit more focus on that. And with regards to the guys, they should have literally got that done by now. I don't understand why there's still 3 men up there and they still haven't got the relevant mile in there, so I'm going to have a chat with them about that as well. So this is one of the problems here. If there's not a supervisor actually conducting, getting the orchestra doing what they need to be doing within reason, you can burn 8 hours and not get a great deal done. So we're meant to be pouring tomorrow, so these guys need to be effectively working together. Otherwise we're going to land up burning time, and we're going to have to put the pour off yet again. It's one of the common things on most construction sites, as everyone knows, but I don't have a supervisor on site at the moment who'd normally be the one pushing and questioning these people, and the owner has had to go off site for a couple of hours, so I have to go and start challenging and have a few chats. But anyway, we've got the rest of the day to go. It's still 9:30. Got about 5 hours of the day to go, so fingers crossed we'll be on target. So it's 10:20. We've got 40 minutes to finish off the patio area where the still's concerned, which the boys are over there doing now. So the main thing at the moment is the box work that goes all the way down the front of the pool. The box work that goes round the front piece of the guttering area, and all of the rebar that goes across here has to be complete by 11 o'clock. At that point, we have the pool guy coming out to do the earth welds from here to here, from this corner to this corner. I think there's one over there as well, and there's one in the far corner to here. And at any point, test and inspect guy from the city that has to authorise all earths, all pool earths. Hopefully will turn up and he can inspect and pass, and then we're ready for pool. But at the moment, they never give you a time that they're going to come. You just never know. At the moment, it's say kicking on 10:30, and he's not arrived as yet. Thank God. If they were early and prompt, we'd be in trouble. But I just had a word with Jeff because the guys were focusing in on the back of the pool here, and I was like, Jeff, it needs to be done. The whole thing has to be done, but we have to get this bit done as priority. So beam through the front, beam in the middle, and rebar going across. It's got to be the priority. Bear in mind it's 10:30 now. They've been here since 8:30, and they've only just started laying some of these cross beams as we speak. So they've got 40 minutes to get that bit finished. That's all we've got to do is weld to that and test that. Then they can crack on with this piece. So for some unknown reason, you literally 11:30, and unfortunately we didn't quite reach the 11 o'clock deadline. And thank God the pool man didn't turn up on time. So the floor unfortunately is still being done in around the swimming pool. I mean, the weld potentially could start even if he did arrive, because a lot of the cage work, which I'll show you. So a lot of the cage work at the front has actually been done and installed, as much as it's not in place at the moment. So you could connect to the front and the side. Again, as we said, we should have been focused on the front so we could get that complete. As it is, they've been moaning now that the guy didn't arrive and they worked their asses off in the front, but the pool man has not arrived. But one thing I think you can actually see from up here now, bear in mind this is also patio. If I stand in front of the corner of the house, this is going to be the front corner. So that is all going to be patio. This is all going to be patio up until where the steel is there. That's all patio. This is all patio, and in front of there is obviously the swimming pool, and then we've got patio where they're standing all the way down. So it's 40 foot by 80 foot, so it's quite a span. Same size as the house basically. So it's 40 foot on the house, 40 foot on the patio. So it's 80 foot by 80 foot, and then obviously the separate build that goes from the water tank here over to here. So it's around about 18 foot by 40 foot. So we'll see the real impact of it in a minute, because obviously the carpenters have been putting in the actual formwork here. They've obviously got to acro that all up. They call it jacks, but the acros will go in, and then the rest of the sheeting that's been delivered will now be put in place there. Again, I don't know what it's like around the world at the moment. A few of you from Canada, a few from America that have been emailing and responding on the videos. Here and in England, I think we're about 100 to 110 a sheet apply. For those Americans out there, that's probably about 170 a sheet US. Here we're paying 115 Bayesian dollars, which is about 55 to 60 pounds a sheet, no, US a sheet. So bloody expensive here, but compared to America and here, very cheap. In England, this, I would say, hazard a guess, I would say this is probably about 40 to 50,000 pounds worth of wood that's just used for the concrete, and then once the concrete's done, it comes down and technically isn't needed again. So a very expensive exercise. I've tried to talk to the individual that runs the business here about looking at some technology that can be brought in from the States. They do a lot of aluminium form work, so you put it in place, you pour, you break it off, you reuse. Here you can still reuse the wood, but obviously after probably the second time it's no good. You're literally binning it, and with prices going through the roof at the moment, now's the time to be investing in reusable items such as aluminium formwork. Jacks, perfect example. You wouldn't use 4x2s as jacks because again 2-3 times after they've been used and different lengths are just no good. You use the steel jacks. So yeah, still a lot to be done. Not a great deal of time to be done. We're meant to be pouring tomorrow. The owner is still adamant we're going to be trying to pour tomorrow. He's actually at the moment shouting at everybody. But they don't tend to listen, so fingers crossed. They'll get it in a minute. And we will still pour tomorrow. Fingers crossed. Bloody hell. If you cancel the actual the concrete here, it takes you 4 or 5 days to get it rebuilt back in. So we really have to pour tomorrow. So fingers crossed we can get everything ready and we can go for the pour tomorrow. That's the plan. 5 p.m. Just return to site, have a quick catch up and see what they're up to. Let's have a quick look around. So it looks like the boarding's finished off. All dark in here, so maybe to get the grid done. Some more acros in here obviously, but boarded, which is good. Walls finished, side plastering done, side plastering done. Let's get a quick look upstairs, see how we're getting on up here. How's it going, Jeff?
Yeah.
The boarding's done. Okay, so all the boarding's done up here. Let's have a look at the rebar.
Still money from here.
So the rebar's pretty much done. Did the guy get out to weld?
Hmm?
Did the guy get out to weld?
Yeah, he ain't get everything. Well,
He's not.
He coming early morning.
Jesus
Early morning
Christ.
today. But I ain't see you
Okay.
back in, but you ain't see you ain't in. I ain't see.
Hmm.
Everything in there. You just got this good piece. Just everything in there.
Okay.
All that piece to do there.
Yeah.
Then
So tomorrow's all this tomorrow, is it?
Huh?
Tomorrow's all here, yeah?
It's all in.
Okay.
All the step down in. They just done the step down.
Hello.
They did that way. This is supposed to go together.
Yeah.
To come out here.
Okay.
The step down. They just finished the step down this year.
Okay, so we're all done in
But I
here.
said this ain't on the drawing. I can't remember saying this on the drawing. This step down.
This? No, I don't.
I gotta check that up on the architect drawing. So yeah.
No, I don't remember seeing this either.
So you can't saying this.
Okay, so we learn things as we go.
Huh?
We learn as we go.
You can't remember saying I ain't got it from my drawing.
No, I don't understand what it's... Yeah, I'm not too sure. I'll have to look at the drawing. So anyway, we've actually got the concrete being cancelled for tomorrow. The poor guy did come and run some more cables apparently, but he hasn't finished off at all, so not too sure why he didn't do that. One of the air straps, for instance, so that needs to be extended up into here, and then you've got to run it. So all this cage work is actually all finished now. He's got to run that into this cage work and run it all the way along and then weld, I don't know how far apart, but he's got to weld all the way down there. This has got to be completely welded. The same thing over here. He's got to take it up here and weld all the way along there. And in the corners as well, and even the sun shelf as well. So you've got probably in this corner, yeah, in this corner here, looks like he's extended it. So that's got to be welded up there. And again, that's then got to be run all the way along here. The sun shelf, which is this here, so this is the foot of water basically that will be at the front of the pool. You can see a weld, an earth strap just sitting there, look. So again, that's got to be taken, I assume, through this grid and onto there as well. So all that's got to be welded up, and obviously there's extra cable that's got to be coming. And today we're meant to be have the city or Lightning Power, one of the two. I'm pretty sure it's Lightning Power. They're meant to come out and actually test that the welds have been done at a certain standard. So you can't book them for a certain time, as I said earlier on. So I don't know whether he turned up again today or not, but he should have come. If he came, he would have seen that we weren't ready and he'd be pretty angry. So I'm not too sure what would have happened, because unfortunately I wasn't here for the day. And by the sounds of it, neither was the boss. He was meant to shoot off for an hour and come back, which didn't happen. So I need to have a chat with him later on just to find out what's going on, because we don't have a supervisor on site at the moment and we can't afford to be supervisor stroke managerless. So it's either me here or him here. But today I physically couldn't do, and I'm not going to be able to do tomorrow either. So we're now delayed. So anyway, things are moving. They're just unfortunately a little bit disjointed again, unfortunately. So sit down, another meeting, another plan, and then tomorrow's another day.